Det är så här vi är vana att se landets regnbågsfestivaler. Öppenhet, kärlek och tolerans. Det handlar om de som vill skrämma bort vissa deltagare från paraderna. Deras plakat om död åt borgarna och gör de rika till kattmat skulle kunna ses som en ungdomsrevolt om det inte var för kopplingarna till våldsbejakande vänsterextremism.
I fortsättningen ska Sverige inte finnas alls.
De ska göra en aktion mot årets West Pride-festival i Göteborg. Och de börjar med en illegal ockupation av ett tak. Polisen är redan på plats. Och de är medvetna om att det bland fredliga aktivisterna också rör sig våldsdömda vänsterextremister.
Vi vill föra en kollektiv kamp. Vi vill föra ett kollektivt motstånd.
Ida heter egentligen något annat och är en av deltagarna i Rosa-svarta blocket. Hen betonar att de inte är en organisation och därför inte har någon talesperson. Idas och de andras mål är att få bort poliser, allianspartier och andra de inte gillar från Pride.
Jag tror att de ser oss som ett hot.
Vi tar inte en sak i taget. Vi tar oss an hela samhället på en gång. Rika människor, Sverigedemokrater och andra nazister.
Expressen har talat med 16 personer som tillhör myndigheter och allianspartier som Rosa-svarta blocket vill stoppa. Och till viss del har de redan lyckats. I det tysta är det flera som slutat gå i landets Pride-parader på grund av obehag och rädsla.
Det är många som inte orkar gå med i paraden och jag förstår dem.
Edith från Moderaternas hbtq-förbund Öppna Moderater har tillsammans med sin fru bestämt att de inte längre kan ha med sitt barn i paraden på grund av hot från personer i Rosa-svarta blocket. Vad tycker du om att du inte kan ta med ditt barn längre på Pride?
Ja, det är jobbigt. Jag är rädd för att om det händer något, jag menar man vill skydda sitt barn.
Edith och flera andra drabbade berättar hur det Rosa-svarta blocket väntar in dem när de är i slutet av paraden. Kan du bara berätta lite, hur såg det ut där?
De var hotfulla och alltså de började skrika, de började spotta på oss, de hade puttat på en av våra.
Vad går för känslor genom dig då?
Ja, men det är rädsla ju.
Ja, det är klart att det finns vissa som inte tycker om att det finns ett anarkistiskt motstånd i queer-rörelsen. Liksom. Om vi står i vägen när de säger hej, vi är bra och liksom snälla mot queers, då är vi ett hot mot deras liksom, marknadsföringsjippo. Liksom.
Hur långt är ni beredda att gå för er sak?
Det vet jag inte.
Ingen av de 10-tal personer som Expressen har pratat med från det Rosa-svarta blocket vill svara på vad deras gräns går.
Allt åt alla, alltid, hurra!
Men i blocket går flera organisationer och individer som stöder våld som metod. De ser det som självförsvar. Det handlar om allt från våldsamt motstånd till dråpförsök.
Så ser vi uppe på en balkong ett gäng maskerade människor. Och när det kommer till att vi är nära balkongen så flyger det ner vad jag kallar rökbomber. Så att det var ju helt liksom riktat mot oss.
För första gången känner Thomas rädsla för att ha kommit ut ur garderoben. Men inte som homosexuell, utan som moderat.
Istället för en glädjens dag så blir det ett gravtåg där folk inte dansar eller sjunger eller uttrycker sin glädje. Utan det känns som att man går till en begravning. Begravning av vem är frågan, men kanske oss.
Yep.
Oh my
There you
God.
go. Isn't that confusing?
What was that blonde thing talking? I mean, was
Ida.
that
You mean Ida?
is that a woman who's taking testosterone, sounding like a man?
I don't know. It's
God,
very
these are
interesting.
freaky people, you know?
It's starting to get really confusing now internally in the left here. So this is obviously a faction, this pink-black bloc, right? It's a fairly new phenomena. I don't know how many years in a row they showed up at the Pride, but they're basically against what they call, I guess, homo nationalism and stuff like that.
Was that like Milo?
I was thinking about that too, but no, obviously. I mean, he would be probably seen as some kind of fascist Nazi, I guess. I mean, they see everyone like that, but
so they're basically
I think what they're talking about
here. Yeah.
Yeah, what they're talking about is basically the guy at the end that we looked at there. He's a gay man. He's a moderate, which is basically our version. For those who don't know, Swedish politics, the political spectrum doesn't really have a conservative side and a left side. It's all left basically.
Yeah.
But anyway, we do have a party called the Moderate Party, which he's part of, right? So these two people featured in the clip basically talks about how they have been suppressed because of the fact that they're moderates. They're so-called conservatives and they're gay. They have these HTBTQL organizations. And then they're trying to kind of go in these pride festivals, and they're basically being ostracized because they're not extreme enough, right? So this is truly how the snake is starting to turn on itself and eat its own tail.
It's such a contradiction. They want to enforce feminism, but then no government, military, police, let alone straight men. So how's that going to work when hordes of, hostile men are coming into your country or your area? How will they convert men to feminism? So they say that they don't want government because government uses force, but then they want to create this gang to enforce this feminist anarchy.
With force.
Yeah, I would say just stop protecting them and supporting them. Stop supporting them in every way possible and just watch them suffer. Just let them get beat up and attacked and see how that goes for them.
And it's funny too, because what's happening now is that the conservatives, the so-called conservatives in Sweden, are basically turning into conservative liberals. So they have already reformed Swedish politics so much that they have, what is it? If you explicitly as an organization isn't stand for something which is more right-wing, you will gradually go towards the left, right? That's kind of how the progression goes. And one important point I think to bring out here is that there's basically no compromise with leftists, right? Because these cultural Marxists and these nation wreckers, I mean, if you compromise with them, that means they are getting their way a little bit slower probably than they would like to, right? That's the kind of the idea. It's like, picture it like this. They're arguing over who gets to play, how loud they get to play the stereo or something, right? And you say, well, it's disturbing everybody. Why do you need to play the stereo, at all? But the compromise occurs that they still have, they can still play it as a nuisance, but the discussion becomes how loud it can be. So it's kind of the same with open borders. How much open borders are we going to have, right? So the conservatives that are trying to, act as some kind of force of being restrictive against these things is basically just it slows down the process of complete racial displacement and replacement, and so there's no leveraging with these people, right? It's just, how fast is it going to go? They set the pace, and we just kind of adapt to it. That's why you can't deal with these extremist groups, because they were basically push their way, and we will be compromised out of existence.
Yeah, they just need to be kicked out. Just remove them, Say, okay, you need to leave. Let's go drop you off in Africa or the Middle East. See how that works out for you, It's funny, too. They always have these Antifa types, always has the same filthy, sloppy appearance. They always look the same, wearing their black hoodies, covering up their face. They bought all this stuff from some big box store while they're talking against capitalism,
Yeah.
It's always the same.
I think it's just remarkable that these groups are getting so utterly extreme that it's just there's no dealing with them. And why is it too, Lana, that they have to, every country that they find themselves in is a country that they have to destroy, right? If they are so keen on having their multicultural LGBTQ, kind of fantasy or whatever, why don't they go to, Brazil, as you said, or something like that? Why don't they do something different, right?
There's places where it already exists, So just go there.
Go there. But they don't. This is the thing. And so,
because they're all about destroying. And I think they want to, ultimately, they just want to take out white men and defeat them like some kind of a female supremacy. You know, that's what they have in their mind. These people are crazy.
So here's another bunch that was actually at the Nordic Resistance Movement. They were handing out flyers during the same Pride Festival. And it's kind of like the same deal there, really. I mean, it's going to be impossible to live and work with these people. How is this going to go when politics in Europe and America gets further and further polarized? I mean, it's just... What's the end result of this?
We're going to have to split off into different territories. That's just going to be the only way. I mean, I don't want to live with these people. The new Sweden that we're working to build, we don't want these people there.
No.
And they don't want to live with people like us. So maybe we need to rethink some of these territories and split off from each other.
So it's interesting, you know, because we have so many of these things happening now, and it's going so far. I mean, look at the other moderates there. There were a lesbian couple in the clip that we saw earlier. They wanted to bring their child to these things, which I think we should.
God.
I mean, this should be considered child abuse, to be honest. I mean, we saw some of the pictures coming out of there where these small children are like seeing all kinds of just perversity and disgusting things. You know?
I mean, San Francisco, they literally are just like doing it on the streets there in the festivals. You know,
yikes! You know, it's really bad. It's really, really bad.
The left starts attacking their own other lefties, though. We don't see much of that, but it's starting to happen more. They're starting to fight with each other, which is good. You know, we want them to terrorize each other for a change. It's
just such a strange concoction of like, they're like feminists and lesbians, you know, super kind of hone in on the homo issue, if you will. But they're willing to attack anyone else that, even if they are an immigrant, you know, if they happen to be more, not on the right, but a little bit more conservative, you know?
Yeah.
So they just want to have class warfare with everybody. But it's, you know, again, it's more proof that it's becoming really, really confusing for these poor people.